Hello, and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 960, coming to you live from somewhere, nowhere, Dallas, Texas. That is right. I think it's one of our second last show before we leave Dallas. I think we'll be here for next episode, and then 962 will be coming to you live for a very brief second from an airport. Then Istanbul. We'll be coming to you live from Istanbul. And then the episode after that, Kuala Lumpur. And then we will be coming to you live from Singapore. Interesting times ahead. Of course, we have a lot of travel. We have Super AI that we're heading to Singapore on Saturday. We arrive in Singapore Monday morning. And then we drop off our stuff at our Airbnb, turn around, and then we go back and we turn around, drop our stuff at the Airbnb, and then we go hop on another flight to Kuala Lumpur for Super AI Day. We will be talking and having getting to see some of our good friends, and then we head back to Singapore that night, and we head over to Super AI. That will be good. We're going to have a blast while we're there, and we hope that you're going to join us for some of the highlights of while we're in Singapore with Super AI. So that'll be a good time. As always, you have to request to come up on a live stream. It seems like we have someone over on Pump Fun that wants to join us on stream as we are now streaming. Shout out to everyone joining us on LinkedIn, Player One Taco, YouTube, 0xDgens YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Telegram, Rumble, Kick, On Chain via Abstract, and shout out to everyone on the arena. We got the arena working today, and shout out to everyone over on Pump Fun. We've had a good push with the market piece. We're now at 86%, so that doesn't even really matter. We're still building, and things are good. Things are really good. So we're gonna head over to our main screen piece as we have some things that we have to do. We are literally going to be, crime is up. We're up to 86%, so it has been a slow walk to get there. And so I have 5T WK2G, interesting play. We'll see how that goes. And let's fucking go. Shout out to everyone joining us from Pump Fun, as always. And if you don't know where crime, you can find crime on Twitter. It is it a crime? IZITACRIME. Is it a crime? And boom, we're keeping that big C. We'll repost that. And I got some. Boom. All right. So shout out to there. Latest burns. Some cool stuff's going on. We got building out for that. So we're happy for that. Outside of that, let's see. Our big push on HawkFi. We're not really touching anything on HawkFi right now. It's just things are running sideways. There's a couple different tokens, that are making runs. We had heard about Aurora. Launchcoin is still generating a heck ton of volume, but nothing we really want to touch that says trade me, provide liquidity for me. So I'm assuming we're down pretty much on our portfolio. We might have some good claim fees, but we probably have a bunch of positions out of position. But yeah, so while that loads, there we go. Let's see. Shout out to everyone, the entire crime family over on Telegram, all channels. Find us on Pump Fun. Boom. All right. We'll pin that up for now. So shout out to the entire crime family for everything that they've gone through on this. It's been a fun ride for them, I think. But I love it when people ask a question, you know, and then they just don't show up for it. So yeah, as you can see, we are sort of down on everything. We do have some good unclaimed fees if we wanted to go through and claim some of these pieces. Out of position. Yeah, a bunch of pieces out of position. Well, what's really great is they all sort of came into position as we saw Sol spike for a minute. Now Sol's sort of taking a tump. The whole market's sort of down right now for the simple fact of everyone is indecisive when it comes to war. Oh my gosh, that is not cool. So yeah, Sol's down to 146 right now. So all of these pieces, we'll keep them. Let's leave them where they're at right now. And we'll probably get all of these, fix all of these when we're on our flight. That seems to be our go-to right there. But we have some good fees across the board on some of these. Some of these ones have been, Mask, RFC, XBT. We've seen some good profit across all of these. CBTC, ZBTC, that's just growing, so gotta let the Bitcoin, when you're just trading Bitcoin from your left pocket to your right pocket, you really can't complain about that too much. So that, I feel, is one of those secret little moneymaker pools that can't turn down. Cannot turn down free Bitcoin. So yeah, bro, you got a request. Tell him, Taco. Yeah. 9F, it's you ask to be put on the live stream, but if you don't put in the request to be on it, you can't. I can't put you on it. So yeah. But we're going to be doing what we've been doing for the last couple days. We're going to get through. We're going to get through a handful of video edits because we're needing to catch up on those. We're almost done with a lot of them, and that'll be good. So we'll see that through. So we have our Opus cuts. We have our cut yard. We've got everything uploaded to Opus. And then we have a bunch of downloads from StreamYard as well. But, all right, is that all StreamYard? Yeah, so things that we've uploaded to StreamYard, we need to start getting more of those uploaded to StreamYard. But let's see here. What are we going to work on? Let's see. I think DAS. Let's finish out DAS. I think that would be a good one. And we got a plug in our drive because we have our intro video on our drive rather than on our desktop for some reason. We'll fix that as well. So, yeah. All right. Let's boom. Put that TacoBytes right there. And boom. Let's see. Let's rename that file. We're just going to rename it. All right. Uploaded to StreamYard. So we have like a 1, 2, 3 position. So everything is out of cut videos. We've finished that up. So we're good there. You know, because as soon as we're done cutting it, we upload it to Opus. And then as soon as we're done with Opus, we'll download it back into our Opus cut videos. And then we upload from there to StreamYard. I really wish it would, you know, really wish that we would have some interoperability from what's the word I'm thinking of? Interoperability between Opus and push to StreamYard. That would make my life 100% easier, but it is not. And for those that are asking, we are just getting some work done tonight. Behind the scenes work, you know, the unpretty stuff. And no, we are not jamming tunes because when we jam tunes, we get DCMI'd on YouTube and on LinkedIn, and then they usually cancel the videos and stuff like that. So that is something we are not doing, unfortunately. I apologize. But yeah, so Opus, oh, we don't need Opus. We need BTC video. No. DAS. DAS is what we're doing because we have a few videos left in DAS. Right there. There's our DAS videos. All right. So, let's see here. Intro video. There's our intro video. And then we'll go to our cut videos. I don't know why it made it super. All right, there we go. So there's DAS. Let's see. Stand with Crypto. That was a good interview. Had a great time with Stand with Crypto. Really sort of got their stuff together, what they're doing across all the scopes. Oh, man. Yeah, but see, this is the thing. I'm not just streaming on Pump. I'm streaming live to like 10 locations. So Pump, or no, 11 with Pump. So not streaming just to Pump and Pump alone. Thank you for loving my tattoos. But yeah. All right. So let's start.
It is the end. Like literally the end of day 3 of not consensus, but of
Asset Summit, yeah, or otherwise known as DAS.
DAS. And you're still standing.
We are.
Why are you standing?
Because we stand with crypto.
What?
What? Absolutely.
Why?
To do it.
I thought it was a scam.
Oh, really?
That's what I was told.
Really? How so?
I don't know.
Interesting. I mean, from my point of view and my experience and the difference that I'm seeing it make, we're empowering builders, we're empowering under-resourced communities. Or a path, yeah, and giving them hope that, if I set up a business here, I'm going to be set up for success, right? Mm-hmm. So you look at countries like the UAE and Singapore and Germany and Switzerland, and they've really, their politicians have said, I'm going to pay attention to technology, I'm going to learn about it, and I'm going to create a regulatory framework that's going to set businesses up for success.
Amazing. Oh.
All right.
Get that badge next to your Twitter name so people can find you and know that you stand with crypto.
Love it.
Oh, yep. I think I already edited this a little bit. Ha. All right. So we're going to throw the intro on that. And then we're going to find a good cover. I think like the end. Oh, man. Right about there. Yeah, that is a good. My head just looks. My headphones are too big on my head sometimes. All right, and then transition-wise. That Doppel thing.
So it is.
Yep. So let's see what that looks like.
So it is the end, like literally the end of.
Yep. We like that. That's good. I can see that it's not well set up. Do you know how to set it up? Yes, I do know how to set up my Telegram. My Telegram is set up exactly the way I want it to. No frills, no chills, no bots, really. I had one bot in there at one time, but I turn my chat. I police the chat to keep you criminals safe in there. So yeah, if I wanted to put bots in there, no, I don't need the bot. I don't need bots. When we get in like the next 3.5 months, yeah, sure, we might need bots. But till then, nah. So stand with crypto, death, or that's NYC. Blockworks. All right. Yeah, we'll let people stitch. We'll let people comment and duet, and we will share. No, they help a lot. The safeguard. So no, I'm not doing CastBot. I already have a CastBot in another Telegram chat, and BuyBot. No, I really don't. If people want to look at buys, they can look at the chart, because people don't like the way I set up my buy bots. I set up the buy bot for both buys and sells, and people don't like that. And I'm okay with that. It's my bot, I guess you could say. So yeah. And the safeguard is I charge 10 stars. I lock the chat when I'm not around, and 10 stars. Scammers will not pay the 10 stars to post a scam message, which is like, a tenth of a penny, I think. So, yeah. All right, cool. We are done. Boom. That is that. So we can then close this one and we can go on to new project. All right. Ooh. This one's a good one.
Hello, ho, player one taco coming.
Yeah. And then I need to put this in a better location. Where are we going to put this? We'll put this right here. So that's easy for me to grab. Boop. Boop. All right. And yeah, boom. There we go. And boom. All right. DAS, intro. Oh.
Hello,
There.
Hello, player one taco coming to you live from day one of the Digital Asset Summit here in New York, hosted by Blockworks. I am here with the one and only Mr. Nick from Marinade. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
You were not ready for this level of energy, were you?
No, I was not. You hit the switch, literally.
I did. I pressed play, but this is how I usually am. I think maybe the chai kicked in. Who knows? How have you had day one so far?
Oh, it's been great, man. I was just got back from one of the talks with Tolly, and then watched our very own Hadley Stern talking on stage about the validator ecosystem. So
Hadley's pretty.
From one of the talks with Tolly, and then watched our very own Hadley Stern talking on stage about the validator ecosystem. So
Hadley's pretty freaking smart.
Yeah, he is. We're lucky to have him. Every team needs one.
I think that's a good transition. Let's see how that transition looks.
Hello, player one taco coming to you live from day one of the Digital Asset Summit here in New York, hosted by Blockworks. I am here with.
All right, let's see.
Or if you're looking at the degen side and you just like to support small validators, like NubGuru. Shut up, you guys, I love you. But last but not least, where can they find you on the Twitter?
At Nikki Scans.
Can you spell that out for the algorithm?
NICKYSCANZ. Nikki Scans.
Nikki Scans. We'll see you on the flip side.
All right, there we go. Let's see. Woo! All right, so we're done with that. Oh, shit. Cancel. Nikki Scans. Now we'll export that. All right. We can delete that piece now as that's out loading. Save that video. Oh, no, same. We're still in use. So, all right, fine. Yeah, Moose, to answer your question, do I have a project manager? I am the project manager. It is my project. I'm the builder. I have a dev shop. So, yeah. And I guess the dev shop has a project manager for deadlines and making sure shit's done. But, yeah. So, things are done there. Does that answer your question, Moose? Yes. Me and Dev Shop. All public. Let's see here. DAS, NYC, Blockworks, Solana, Soul, Marinade. Badoo. And staking. We'll allow comments, duets, and stitches. There we go. Boom. Yeah, we got whoa, how many more videos? One with Hedera, home care credits. I don't know what that is. That's a talk. Oh, that's Trump's talk, I think. So, yeah. Was it for GM to those on Arena? Was GM Ninja. All right. Those are pushed through. And where did that save to? Export. Oh, we exported this already. Oh. Okay. Nope. All right. I know why that. Okay, we forgot to put a cover image on that, and that's okay. All right. So, yeah. All right. New project now. File. New project. There we go. And then we got a filter on. So we have filter with care credits. This was a really cool interview with Grant and what they're trying to do out of the UK.
Hello, Player One Taco, coming to you live from day one here at DAS, and we were standing in coffee line, and we got this dirty chai tea that was amazing, but we got into a conversation with an amazing individual, Grant. How are you doing today, Grant?
Very well, thanks, Taco. Thanks very much for having me.
Yeah, so I'm going to guess by the accent, you're not from New York.
I'm not. I'm from Ireland. I'm Irish.
All right.
For my sins.
All right, nice. All right, what brings you to the Digital Asset Summit?
So I'm here to promote care credits because I'm involved in home care, taking care of elderly and vulnerable people in their own homes. So I have staff in Ireland and in England, and they're doing God's work. They're doing great things in terms of going into people's homes and helping them get out of bed in the morning, helping them with all their daily needs. But it's not a highly paid job because I, as an employer, only get paid so much by the government.
You don't
with all their daily needs. But
so yeah. It's based on human. I like that as my cover. Boom. All right. Save. All right. And we will space that out a little bit, and we'll get in there, and we will add that transition. Let's see here. For this, we will use Scotch tape. All right, so let's see how that edit transitions.
Hello, player one.
Oh my gosh! All right, so DAS, care credit, grant. Okay, we will export that. Let's see. Manage group. No, let's see. Let's make that bigger.
Hello, Player One Taco, coming to you live from day one here at DAS, and we were standing in coffee line, and we got this dirty chai tea that was amazing, but we got into a conversation with an amazing individual, Grant. How are you doing today, Grant?
Very well, thanks, Taco. Thanks very much for having me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna guess by the accent you're not from New York.
I'm not. I'm from Ireland.
All right, that's easy. Public comment, duet stitch. DAS, NYC, Ireland. Why not? Crypto, care credits, care workers. Why not? Give it some funny hashtags to see where it will show up. All right, and share. Boom. All right. Let's go. So, yeah, this is easy video editing. We'll have Hedera. Who else do we have? We have Van Eck. We have an interview with Van Eck. Shout out to the Van Eck intern. Amazing as always. I don't know. I got some pretty cool follows from the work I've done. You know, I have Consensus. Partnership with Consensus, so Consensus follows me. But getting Van Eck to follow me and the intern interacts with me, pretty awesome, I think. With great power comes great responsibility, so I don't abuse that. And yeah, so Van Eck's been doing a lot on the forefront. One of the cool projects that they have hidden away within Van Eck that you might not know is they actually have an NFT platform. You know, because they're like, why send their clients to OpenSea when, you know, why not have an NFT platform? So, and they even have an NFT collection, which is pretty cool. Pretty funny, by the way, the story behind that. So I think we get into that. But yeah, let's see. I think we might have that. New project. All right. Boom. I think this is just a video. Let's see. Yeah. All right. That's just a video. this, I think, is a hyperlapsed 40-second hyperlapse. Yeah.
Hello, hello, Player One Taco coming to you live from the start of day one of DAS, the Digital Asset Summit hosted by Blockworks. This is going to be a great time. Let's go get ready, go get our badge, and let's go see what's up.
Yeah.
Carolyn!
How has day one of DAS been so far?
It's been great. Everyone's checking in. Things are going smooth.
How many people have checked in so far?
We're at like 1,500. We're doing really good. 1,500!
Yep. Oh my gosh. That's we'll end it at 1,500. So Carolyn is awesome, runs the social media pieces over at Blockworks.
1,500!
No. All right. There we go. We'll end it right there. And yeah. And why not throw the intro to TacoBytes on that? Yep. All right. We'll throw the intro to TacoBytes. We will throw Shutter. Let's see how that looks. Yep. That's fun. All right.
Hello, hello, Player One Taco coming to you live from the start of day one of DAS, the Digital Asset Summit hosted by Blockworks. This is going to be a great time. Let's go get ready.
Yep. Super easy. Boom.
Hello.
All right. DAS. Day one. Badge. Blockworks. I think we already published this video, but oh well. Boom. All right. So we'll export that, save that. We totally forgot to do a cover video. Oh well, our cover piece for that. Man, you win some, you lose some. All right, there's that. All right, then let's see. All right, new project. Hedera. Okay. Ooh. Transition for Hedera. Burn. All right.
Hello, hello, Player One Taco coming to you live from day one here at the Digital Asset Summit. And we wanted to stop by our friends over at Hedera.
Boom.
Get there.
We'll try to get those deets for you guys later. All right. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Thanks very much. Pleasure to speak with you.
All right. And boom. Delete right. All right. And that is a good cover photo. Thanks very much. All right. Boom. All right. Title, Das, Hedera, Andrew. Boom. Export. Boom. Shakalaka. All right. Public.
Hello, Player One Taco, coming to you live from day one here at the Digital Asset Summit, and we wanted to stop by our friends over at Hedera first and just sort of annoy them a little bit, and we are with Andrew here from Hashcraft side of things. How are you doing today, Andrew?
I'm doing great. This is a really exciting conference. We're very happy to be here to talk about, what we're doing on the real world asset side of things, and pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure always. Anyone on the Hedera side of things, Hedera sort of gets left by like the degens, like the institutional side and like the underbelly side of things. Hedera and Hashcraft have really sort of lay a foundation. So what are some of the big things that you're looking at here on the institutional side here at DAS?
So we're seeing a lot of really exciting talks from some of our partners on the institutional side, and we're very excited to sort of be laying the groundwork to build special purpose networks, sort of allowing privacy for certain types of institutional use cases, and just really building the momentum that we've seen over the past sort of 6 months coming into the space.
So that sort of is counterculture a little bit to what like the ethos is of blockchain, where it's like, a DLT is a distributed ledger protect is everyone can see it, but institutions don't really want to play that game, or they technically can't play that game because they're playing with private data. Is there a balance between that all?
Yeah, I think it's a really great point. The way that we think about it here at Hedera is that the world is going to be hybrid. There's always going to be types of information, types of data which are sensitive, which aren't appropriate for public consumption. And then there's also always going to be the sort of the need for transparency and like achieving the vision that
all right. Yeah. Hedera, Andrew, he covered it great. All right, new project. All right, we'll delete that. And then new project. Van Eck. Awesome. We'll cover that there. We'll get intro in as well.
Hello, Player One Taco, coming to you live from day 3 here at DAS, the Digital Asset Summit, hosted by Blockworks in New York this year. Thankfully, we are with the one and only, the bulls of the entire institutional industry, I think, Van Eck. And we are here with the one and only Kyle.
Nice to be here.
How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. It's been a long week, but it's nice to see people back in New York, excited about crypto again. It's been a while, I think.
Even though like there has been a huge regime.
Yeah. Kyle was a good interview.
Again, it's been a while, I think.
Even though like there has been a huge regime choke point 2.0, whatever, New York has still been a huge industry hub.
Yeah, there was a moment where people were saying crypto was going to, Asia offshore, but also Miami sort of became a thing. But New York has always been here. It's a small location with a lot of crypto people that are easily accessible, right?
Yeah. And then I know even like a lot of the institutions, they literally just had to have an office over the river in Jersey so they could do their digital asset side of things.
Yeah.
Van Eck's sort of been on the forefront of like not only I don't want to say pro NFTs, but pro culture.
That's right.
You know, what do you think of NFTs?
I would say we were pro NFTs for sure. So we actually launched. We were the first asset manager to launch an NFT a few years back. We did not sell them. We gave them out to our clients and our,
Look at my hair
partners.
sticking out of the
How,
back.
how do I get an VanEck
So
NFT?
it's actually a VanEck NFT community Twitter account that you can follow. And we also have a subsidiary company called Segment, which works in the NFT and tokenized real world asset space as well.
How do I get a VanEck NFT?
You have to get on the VanEck Interns good side and maybe something.
Life goals.
Someday.
I'm working
So
on that.
what do you do over at VanEck?
So I work on the crypto product team at VanEck across all the various crypto initiatives. So I've been there quite a while, and I got to say, one of the most boring things in crypto is a Bitcoin ETF, right? And who would have thought it would take 7 years to get that to market? But we got there, and now I'm excited. What else can we do in the U.S. now?
Well, and yes, it might have been boring, but 47 days after it launched, everyone had already doubled their money.
Yeah. Well, it was not bad timing for sure. You know, I think when I say boring, obviously, how quickly they grew, one of the fastest growing ETFs, certainly not from that perspective. But when I mean innovation, there's so much innovation in the space, the new technologies, what you can do with it. And a Bitcoin ETF is you're taking a Bitcoin, a not great asset, and you're just wrapping a very boring structure around it. And so for that to take 7 years was a little disheartening. But now that we've got past that barrier, I'm really excited to see what the SEC and the regulators will allow here.
Huge shout out to Hester. She's awesome. I'm really excited to see what she does leading the new SEC innovation digital asset side. So it'll be really cool to see the ideas that sort of come out of there. Obviously with we say regime change, but that also sounds like I'm saying like tinfoil hatty things. But like with the political change, we're seeing more acceptance towards innovation and more like almost like a brighter future of things can be built in America, or just like that people, the gold standard of that having a business in America on an international level, people feel protected doing business with an American business.
I think that's right. I mean, I think, you hear a lot of these anecdotes, but a few years ago, a lot of crypto startups were moving offshore. And the reality is they didn't want to, right? They were here, this was their home. But the reality is if you're spending 30% of your budget on legal fees and trying to figure out what the rules are, and they're not clearly stated, that makes it hard, right, to innovate.
And getting punished because you asked, how do I do this right?
And maybe, I think you said regime change. Maybe it's not a regime change, but it's certainly a culture change at the SEC. I mean, the Crypto Task Force publicly posts all their meetings. They put out, have their peers put out 50 questions looking for feedback. They're actually asking the community, what are the pain points? How can we solve them? Which is a very different, it's not just, the rules. It's, let's talk about the rules. Let's talk about the issues and let's figure out how to solve them.
And it's been sort of interesting how politicians have courted the not just crypto but blockchain community, because blockchain is so much more than crypto. And like I remember at Masari Mainnet getting to meet Vivek Ramaswamy, and literally like an hour and a half before I got to talk with him, they had launched their crypto email of sending things in. Where does VanEck sit on this table of like contacting politicians and policy?
Yeah, look,
if you can answer that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I can say we're a $120 billion asset manager, so obviously we're engaging with regulators and politicians constantly, not just for crypto, but just through normal business activities. We've always had a great relationship with the SEC. I think it was a tough situation under the last administration. I think it's, like I said, a lot of the folks that are there, it's not like it's a whole new SEC. A lot of these great folks who have been there are still there.
Yep. All right. Oh, yeah. Let's edit that cover. Let's find let's get the end done.
Anything last you want to say to Das or anyone else, or do you have a message for your mom?
Mom, I love you. I will call you right after this interview, because I probably owe you one. And you know what? Das was fantastic. There's a lot of conferences. I remember back in the day, there was only 1 or 2 a year. Now there's practically 2 every month. But the Blockworks team, it does a great job. And so I'm really happy to be here, and we'll be here at the next one.
All right. See you on the flip side.
See you on the flip side. Let's get into that. That looks good. Boo. Boom. There we go. That's a good one. All right. That's a good frame. Cover. There. Save. All right. And boom. Right.
Coming to you live from day 3 here at DAS, the Digital Asset Summit, hosted by Blockworks in New York this year. Thankfully, we are with the one and only, the bulls of the entire institutional industry, I think, Van Eck. And we're here with the one and only Kyle.
Nice to be here.
How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. It's been a long week.
All right. Oh, the computer does not have enough space. Hold on a second. I have to do a quick disk clean for all the videos I've already deleted. Boom. Okay. Delete files. All right. Let's go. All right. I think there. Now we can. All right. Boom. We're going to finish our DAS, and then we're going to do our IRS interview as well. Then we're going to call it a night because we got to get to bed. It's 4 a.m. Tips. Ninja, prove you're still watching live, and I'll give you a tip. Leave a comment, Ninja, if you're still watching on Arena, and I'll give you a tip. Oh, man. All right. So, yep. All right.
Hello, Player One Taco, coming to you live from day 3 here at DAS, the Digital Asset Summit, hosted by Blockworks in New York this year. Thankfully, we are with the one and only, the bulls of the entire institutional industry, I think, Van Eck. And we're here with the one and only Kyle.
Nice to be here.
How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. It's been a long week, but it's nice to see people back in New York, excited about crypto again. It's been a while, I think.
Even though like there has been a huge regime, choke point 2.0, whatever, New York has still been a huge industry hub.
Yeah, there was a moment where people were saying crypto was going to, well, Asia offshore, but also Miami. It sort of became a thing, but New York has always been here. It's a small location with a lot of crypto people that are easily accessible, right?
Yeah, and then I know even like a lot of institutions, they literally just had to literally have an office over the river in Jersey so they could do their digital asset side of things.
Yeah.
Van Eck's sort of been on the forefront of like, not only, I don't want to say pro NFTs, but pro culture.
That's right.
You know, what do you think of NFTs?
I would say we were pro NFTs for sure. So we actually launched, we were the first asset manager to launch an NFT a few years back. We did not sell them. We gave them out to our clients and our partners.
How do I get a Van Eck NFT?
So there's actually a Van Eck NFT community Twitter account that you can follow. And we also have a subsidiary company called Segment, which works in the NFT and the tokenized real world asset space as well.
How do I get a Van Eck NFT?
You have to get on the Van Eck Intern's good side and maybe something.
Life goals.
Someday.
So what do you do over at Van Eck?
So I work on the crypto product team at Van Eck across all the various crypto initiatives. So I've been there quite a while, and I got to say, one of the most boring things in crypto is a Bitcoin ETF, right? And who would have thought it would take 7 years to get that to market? but we got there. And now I'm excited to what else can we do in the U.S. now?
Well, and yes, it might have been boring, but 47 days after it launched, everyone had already doubled their money.
Yeah. Well, it was not bad timing for sure. I think when I say boring, obviously how quickly they grew, one of the fastest growing ETFs, certainly not from that perspective, but when I mean innovation, there's so much innovation in the space, the new technologies, what you can do with it. And a Bitcoin ETF is you're taking a Bitcoin that not great asset.
Boom. All right. And new project. All right. Let's see. Let's see here. Create a new project. What is this? I think this is Trump's talk. Oh, this is Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor's talk. All right. Yeah.
It's true today.
I realized I was filming the wrong thing. I thought he was going to be sitting down.
It's true.
Boop, boop.
This, I ask myself, what is true?
All right.
In order to accommodate that gravitational field. You see this thing coming to life in front of you.
Michael Saylor.
It's going to have Newtonian dynamics, and it is an energy system emerging. And these are the 21 truths. Thank you for your time, and please go tell someone the truth about it.
Celebrity conversation includes welcome Pete Rizzo.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Is there that's a cover for that. Save that. And then we put the intro in. And I am liking the dollars, the dollar bills transition. We'll make it a little longer. Just slightly longer.
Preparing for this, I ask myself, what is true today in the year 2025? And perhaps what are the truths that the mainstream world, the mainstream media, traditional investors,
oh, we forgot to name that. Dash. Michael Saylor. Oh, the computer does not have enough space. All right. Hold on a second. I can delete that. Now, does it have enough space? Nope. No, because I got to clean that up. All right. There we go. What? You're playing. You're hiding right now. I don't like it when you hide. All right, let's see. Boom. There we go. All right. That goes over there. That goes over there. And then the other thing we can do, let's see. All right, so what we're going to do, open a new window. We're going to move that to over there. Oh, it's not open in CapCut right now. Cut videos. There we go. Das and Hedera. Boom. Care credits. And move that over there. All right. It is saying it's still there. Let's see. All right. What else can we... Data dump. That is. Those are some more interviews we gotta publish. We can delete that. All right, we'll figure out the rest of these. Why is data dump? Death. All right. Dupe. Open a new window. And move all of those over to here. Let me decide for each file. File. Skip these files. All right. That's there. And that's there. All right. So we can just delete those. Delete. All right. So we have more things that we can delete now. 15 gigs. What are my thoughts on Bitcoin? It is an asset. And yeah, it's a good asset. So, yeah. I don't have any hidden thoughts on Bitcoin. And There we go. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. We'll export this. There we go. Export. This video is going from 7.98 gigs to 1.46. This is one of the reasons why I love editing on CapCut, because then I can upload these videos directly anywhere, no issues. 99% of the time I upload them up to StreamYard, and then StreamYard handles my distribution to Twitter and everywhere else. So, yeah. Opus does it as well a little bit. So, yeah. You take it to 1 million. Boom. Boom. Michael Saylor's 21 Truths of Bitcoin.
Preparing for this, I asked myself, what is true today in the year 2025? And perhaps what are the truths that the mainstream world, the mainstream media, traditional investors, politicians, people that are just getting familiar with Bitcoin, with digital assets, what is it they don't know that seems very, very clear to me that I want to share? And so I've gathered my favorite 21 truths of Bitcoin today, and I'm going to start with the first. Bitcoin's an ideology. Freedom versus slavery, innovation versus stagnation, sovereignty versus dependency, property versus poverty. It's a very powerful ideology. It's spreading the entire world, and there will be no Bitcoin without the ideology. It's capitalism versus socialism. It's the individual versus the collective. It pops up throughout human history. We see these themes for the last thousands and thousands of years. You see these themes in the writings of the Austrian economists. You see these themes in the writings of Voltaire and the intellectuals of the 19th, the 18th, the 17th century. You even see these themes in the Constitution of the United States. The founding fathers had this ideology, and you'll see it echoing.
Shout out to Blockchain Wayne for these threads of Bitcoin Siago.
Is Bitcoin is a protocol. Satoshi created a protocol based on that ideology. The 21 million coins, the block sizes, the 10-minute centers, the SHA-256 hashing. It was an integrated protocol. It's not the only way you could have done it, you could have base 10 math, or you could have base 2 math. You could have English as a protocol, but there's also French as a protocol. Bitcoin's a protocol for prosperity. It's a protocol for economic.
All right. Boom. All right, new project. Let's see. I think this is this my talk? Nope, that is not my talk. This might be my talk. Yep.
Yeah, the legendary murder. Oh shit.
There we go.
Yeah, the legendary murder. Oh shit. Anita. Gentlemen, and we're leading the panel today, Mr. Oh.
Player one taco. We got player one taco.
Yeah.
That's me. All right.
Here about the build up. You have a lot of player one talk with the last 10 years from going from immutable, decentralized blockchain into some of these tokens that we're seeing now. And you can launch a token within a matter of minutes. And give us a little bit on that.
So the tokenization of everything we've started.
Yeah. There we go. Boop. I think that's a good start.
It's only an Apple. That's fine.
Here about the build up. You have a lot of player one talk with the last 10 years from going from immutable, decentralized blockchain into some of these tokens that we're seeing now. And you can launch a token within a matter of minutes. And give us a little bit on that.
So the tokenization of everything we've sort of seen, a really interesting fact. My contentious point of view, we saw the Trump, everyone likes to refer to as the Trump token. I sort of like to say that that's sort of like the best RWA that we've had so far, the best performing, because the team itself doesn't recognize it as even a token or a coin. But one of the things that we're sort of seeing is really the big push on the tokenization of data and the ownership of that. So that's
And player one Taco. How do you see Trump token in 1 year from now and also in 3 years from now?
So the RWA for Trump, I still seeing it floating around. The $13 to $25 mark.
It's $9.
The market decides on how it chooses to go with it.
And we'll move on to Dr. Vin. Dr. Vin is currently raising funds. He has a token launch. And tell us the state of things right now, Dr. Vin.
Thanks, dude. Okay.
Lou Kerner. Then Lou said his piece, and I love Lou.
They're gonna keep stealing it, though. They're gonna keep stealing it. That's why we love you, Lou.
Yeah. All right. So.
But looking at the way bringing less
One of those late night
regulation or
pieces.
less punishment and more regulation to tech innovators and builders within the Web3 space within the United States. We have some of the largest blockchain companies based here in New York, yet they can't even service their own residents. So let's fucking go.
Exactly.
So since Dagen and we have been into the blockchain space for long, I want to ask about FOMC result today. What do you think about it?
Oh, man. So if I remember right, I saw that there was no easing done today. There was no interest rates change, but yet we saw a really good rebound on the market itself. And so that showed stability. And I think that stability is sometimes we'll see that a deviation sooner than we want. I think we'll see a deviation between financial TradFi markets and Web3 markets, but we're also wanting to see a larger, and that's because I think there's going to be more stabilization, but there is going to be a difference as we tokenize more and more RWAs. So as the financial TradFi markets come on chain, I think we'll start to see a cool correlation, but I think that they're actually going to separate and people are going to be like, oh, the market's down, but Bitcoin's up, or Bitcoin's down, but the market's up. So we'll see some really cool things, I think. What?
Drunk Bitcoin Nazis.
Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll have the coin heads next song.
Yeah.
Coming up.
We'll end that there. When your friends ask you to come talk somewhere, you do it. Straight out of one, you got to love Bruce Porter and what he puts together. So transition for that. Whiteout pixels. Let's see.
It's only an apple. That's fine.
Yep. Let's see. Good. Yeah, that's a good scene. All right. And this was Das. Oh my gosh, Sugar Mouse. And Bruce Porter. Yeah. All right. So we'll export that. And while that's exporting, I think we can delete Michael Saylor's talk. Boom. We'll run that. Just clean up now. Delete those 8 gigs. Boom. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
It's only an apple. That's fine.
We'll talk here about the build-up. You have a lot of player one talk with the last 10 years from going from immutable, centralized blockchain into some of these tokens that we're seeing now. You can launch a token within a matter of minutes. And give us a little bit on that.
So the tokenization of everything we've sort of seen a really interesting fact. My contentious point of view, we saw the Trump, everyone likes to refer to as the Trump token. I sort of like to say that that's sort of like the best RWA that we've had so far, the best performing, because the team itself doesn't recognize it as even a token or a coin. But one of the things that we're sort of seeing is really the big push on the tokenization of data and the ownership of that. So that's.
And player one Taco. How do you see Trump token in 1 year from now and also in 3 years from now?
So the RWA for Trump, I still seeing it floating around, the $13 to $25 mark. The market decides on how it chooses to go with it.
We'll move on to Dr. Vin. Dr. Vin is currently raising funds. He has a token launch. And tell us the state of things right now, Dr. Vin.
Thanks, David. Okay, so let me introduce myself. I've been into the blockchain space as a business since 2015 and as an investor since 2011 when Bitcoin was like $39, $40. So me and Bruce goes back like a long back. So that's number one. Number two, right now, thanks to whatever happened, right, since January 31st, we are the phase where blockchain and Bitcoin is going to be an issue. We are going to see public companies holding crypto assets. We are seeing globally the regulation coming out, and we are looking forward for we will be the lead indicator for all the blockchain regulations to come out. So in the next 60 days, we are hopeful that we'll be having the regulations coming out. So looking forward for these kind of scenario, which we never had in the past since 2009.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Vin. And Anita, you're a local here in New York City, and tell us what exactly are you up to with your blockchain?
So I'm Anita. I've been in the blockchain space since 2015 as an investor and advisor.
Okay. And new project. Let's see. Who else? All right, so we can delete that one. Who is this interview with? Oh, Red Belly Network. Of course we're going to get that in. We have to. All right. And then, boop, delete that. Intro to...
Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live from the end of day 3. And we finally got the one and only Red Belly Network. We've been harassing them all 3 days. Our tripod broke, but we got to connect with Tim on day 1. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Successful conference.
It was. What was the most interesting question on either RWAs or just like that someone had for Red Belly?
I don't think they've actually heard of us before. We're obviously an Australian project and we're doing big things in our side of the world. But the main question...
They are.
Then you just lost me. Lost me. You lost me at value.
Yes, definitely. So we use that.
He didn't say positive value, though.
Yeah, or some value.
Let's see. What was the joke he said?
Definitely. So we have a grants program that's active today. If you go to redbelly.network, you'll see that. We issue grants to developers, to builders, to institutions.
Content creators?
Content creators. Wow. Anyone who brings value to the network.
Then you just lost me. Lost me. You lost me at value.
Yes, definitely. So we use that.
You didn't say positive value, though.
Yeah, or some value. No, definitely, yes. So we're going to do a hackathon later this year.
All right.
Works for having you here because you guys definitely brought value.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to get to know us, and pleasure to talk to the audience.
See you on the face side.
See you guys.
Let's see. We'll end that there. There, we will end that. Delete right, and then yeah, that works. That's a good. Everyone's smiling. People like smilers. That'll be our cover. Because, I don't know, people think people smiling is a good sign. And for Red Belly, I'm liking this dollar bills transition. That's fun.
Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live from the end.
Yep. All right. There we go. Export. All right. Do. 10-minute interview. Not bad.
Taco coming to you live from the end of day 3. And we finally got the one and only Red Belly Network. We've been harassing them all 3 days. Our tripod broke, but we got to connect with Tim on day one. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Successful conference.
It was. What was the most interesting question on either RWAs or just like that someone had for Red Belly?
I don't think they've actually heard of us before. We're obviously an Australian project and we're doing big things in our side of the world. But the main question is, what is the name?
Okay.
And the red belly black snake is actually the name.
The red belly black snake. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I had other thoughts on it.
Yeah. Well, like most things in Australia, spiders, sharks,
poisonous death.
Yes. So our founder, when he invented the algorithm that makes our blockchain tick, he came across a snake at his front door at the house, and so he named it after that.
Okay, that's a very interesting take. What is Red Belly Network?
So it's a consensus algorithm and a blockchain. So it was invented in the National Science Agency in Australia, and it's a extremely performant, very secure blockchain for real-world assets.
So more institutional play rather than a consumer or retail.
Yeah, well, it's a public network, so anyone can join, but it's permissioned by default. So you KYC by when you join the network, but then it's EVM compatible, so anyone can join or build whatever they like on it. But the sort of assets and investors that it tracks are more institutional. Mm-hmm. So we've got $1 billion of assets in the network, and people are building these new tokenized assets on us.
Yeah, and are you seeing any like European push with the arts and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's a bit of that, but I think that's more of the retail side of it. We're really focused on the sort of the private credit equities.
So the art, not necessarily art as in like NFTs, but art, the asset security token.
Asset security token.
It's one of the new things that came out of Europe recently. I think it's an art. Maybe it's a fart. I don't know. I get the acronyms I get lost on, but it's a new security token feature that they came out with.
Okay, it might be a standard. Yeah. Look, potentially there are many standards. What we're seeing
Europe
is
did come out with a fart.
There is still a lot of scope for people to tokenize in whatever format or standard they want, depending on the asset class and depending on the regulation for the class. So there's no one way to do it yet, so we'll see.
What's the funnest thing that you know of that has been tokenized as an RWA on Red Belly?
I really like tokenization of rental agreements. So these are essentially the rent obligation for a landlord and a tenant, and you can tokenize these assets as a debt instrument, and you can have real-time rental payments going through traditional fiat banking into Red Belly blockchain to pay down the obligation and back into fiat again. And so the amount of flows you can see is many billions of dollars a year of rental flows. So this is one of the first.
All right. New project. Okay. Boop. Then we are done with Das. Well, no, we're not. We got a bunch of videos left, but 35-minute interview. Yeah. All right. Intro.
But I think there's a lot of really exciting stuff going on there, and just have some specific questions I want to go through to share with you what they've been working on. So, Zach, I think you folks have a kind of vision of DeFi going mainstream that'd be interesting for everyone to hear and understand. So what is that vision of mainstreaming DeFi?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. For me, my first exposure to crypto was really, friends of mine who were using Bitcoin to settle world liberty. I mean, our entire industry is meaningful, and it's very difficult for a DAO to have that sort of a voice because we are a U.S. corporation with U.S. persons behind it. We are very, very comfortable taking that position, making a case for all of us, and doing everything we can to kind of bring a light to what all of us are building, because we really believe in it. We've been here for a long time and we're not going anywhere. So we'll continue to do it until we can't do it anymore.
So thank you very much, Zach, for the interesting conversation, as always. And thank you once again for all the support your team has given and created for our industry in DC. I think it's a big deal. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
That's a great cover photo too. Boom. 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 And intro. Boom. Transitions. There we go.
But I think there's a lot of really exciting.
There we go. And then export. Boom. This is awesome because it takes a not too bad, 2.5 gig down to 1.5. So, yeah. After this is done, we'll close on CapCut so we can get rid of these last two videos, and then we'll go over to BTC Vegas. We'll let that open a new window. All right. Edited videos. We'll move in there. Boom. Delete that. And yeah. A lot of different pitches we got to see. Yeah. All right.
But I think there's a lot of really exciting stuff going on there, and just have some specific questions I want to go through to share with you what they've been working on. So, Zach, I think you folks have a kind of vision of DeFi going mainstream that'd be interesting for everyone to hear and understand. So what is that vision of mainstreaming DeFi?
I think that's a really good question. For me, my first exposure to crypto was really, friends of mine who were using Bitcoin to settle poker transactions online and gambling transactions online. For me, I was never really into playing poker other than with friends or whatever, so that wasn't really all that meaningful for me. It didn't really spark that idea of invention. But I went to law school and studied a lot of contracts, a lot of executing different counterparty risk and stuff like that. And it wasn't until I read the Ethereum white paper that it all really kind of clicked for me. And I remember reading the white paper probably about 2015, and I'm sitting alone in my place in the Caribbean, and I just had this aha moment where I was like, wow, as soon as everybody realizes what is going to be possible with trustless contract execution, and two parties across the world are going to be able to transact, whether it's real estate, finance, pretty much anything, without having to ever meet each other, come face to face, engage attorneys, and these contracts are going to be self-executing, everything's going to change from finance to real estate, everything. And I'm sitting there in my place, it was 2015, and I was like, any day now, this is gonna happen, right? Just any day now. And then I remember weeks go by, months go by, it's not, it's catching on, but more from a speculative standpoint. And I remember just every year getting deeper and deeper into crypto, thinking this is gonna be the year where everything changes. And finally here we are, it's 2025, and I think we're really finally starting to see that monumental shift where businesses are all going all in on crypto and DeFi. Governments are going all in on crypto and DeFi. And the moment for me that I thought was going to happen a decade ago is finally starting to happen. So I think that we're really at a point where it's cheaper and more efficient to really transact through smart contracts, through crypto, through cryptography. And I think that everyone from governments to major traditional financial institutions are very much aware of this and trying to basically get on track before they get left behind.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think your realization about how this changes relationships, digital relationships and contractual relationships, was actually the thing that got me very interested in this after I saw that there could be things other than Bitcoin. So when I got into the industry in 2010, Bitcoin was the only thing that existed. All you could really do was mine Bitcoin and use it for Vegas. And because the price was so low, everyone talked about it as a micro transactions platform. Bitcoin has this amazing property where
all right. So let's close. Actually, I don't want to close this because I do. I got to close it because I got to close that so I can delete those two videos. Boom, delete, and delete. And then let's see here. Open up CapCut again. Create a project. We still have a bunch of interviews, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. I don't know. What is this?
Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live from the end of.
Oh, that is the end of day 3. What is this? Is this Trump talk?
States to address
to everyone at the Blockworks Digital Assets Summit. It's an honor to speak with you about how the United States is going to.
Yep. All right. So Trump addresses Blockworks. DAS. I think that's a the last one from here that we will target.
States to address the
Greetings to everyone at the Blockworks Digital Assets Summit.
And then, boom. Yep, because I was like, oh, wait, I'm right in front of a big screen. So I just switched it to that. Let's go. Transition. Old film. And that's a good cover. Edit, save. All right, so DAS, Trump address. All right. You guys got to remember that so far we've had the sitting president do a recorded broadcast, and we've had the vice president go to BTC Vegas. It's like, oh man. Not ready for what's coming. We'll let it listen so you guys can hear it all the way through if you guys haven't heard it yet. But this is Trump addressing the Digital Asset Summit in New York back in April.
States to address the
Greetings to everyone at the Blockworks Digital Assets Summit. It's an honor to speak with you about how the United States is going to dominate crypto and the next generation of financial technologies. And it's not going to be easy, but we're way ahead. Just 2 weeks ago, we hosted the first ever White House Digital Asset Summit, bringing together many of the world's top leaders in crypto for a conversation led by our White House AI and crypto czar David Sachs, who's a fantastic and very brilliant guy. That same week, I signed an order creating the brand new strategic Bitcoin reserve and a U.S. digital asset stockpile, which will allow the federal government to maximize the value of its holdings instead of foolishly selling them for a fraction of their long-term value, which is exactly what Biden did. He got a fraction of their value. We're ending the last administration's regulatory war on crypto and Bitcoin, and that includes stopping the lawless Operation Choke Point 2.0. Operation Choke Point went beyond regulation, and I mean far beyond. It was a form of lawfare through government weaponization. Frankly, it was a disgrace. But as of January 20th, 2025, all of that is over. I've also called on Congress to pass landmark legislation creating simple, common sense rules for stablecoins and market structure. With the right legal framework, institutions large and small will be liberated to invest, innovate, and take part in one of the most exciting technological revolutions in modern history. It's so big, it's, I think, as big as you can get. Pioneers like you will be able to improve our banking and payment system and promote greater privacy, safety, security, and wealth for American consumers and businesses alike. You will unleash an explosion of economic growth, and with the dollar-backed stablecoins, you'll help expand the dominance of the U.S. dollar, and many, many years to come, it'll be at the top, and that's where we want to keep it. We only want to keep it at the top, always. I can already see that the energy and passion of the crypto community is the kind of spirit that built our country, and it is exciting to watch as you invent the future of finance. And right here, it's going to be right here in the USA, the good old USA.
Together we will make America the undisputed Bitcoin superpower and the crypto capital of the world. Thank you. Good luck. God bless America.
Ladies, welcome to the...
Okay. Yep, let's go. Boom. All right. All right. Dum, dum, dum. All right. Done there. New project. Do. Intro. There we go. John the Bitcoin Baptist. So this is BTC Vegas. Yeah. Let's see.
Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live from day 0 of the BTC conference here in Las Vegas, and we are here with the one, the only, John the Baptist.
Yeah, Bitcoin John the Baptist. My name's Mark Edge. I formerly host a radio program called Free Talk Live. We're on 200 radio stations across the country. December 28th of 2010, a caller calls in and says, hey, let me tell you guys about this magic internet money. We said, is it backed by gold? And, it wasn't. So we're like, oh no, we don't want to hear about that. But one of our listeners happened to be, at the time, the head developer of Bitcoin. His name's Gavin Andreessen. He sends us an email, says, hey, let's meet up. I think it was January 20th of 2011. And he comes up to Keene, New Hampshire. And, well, he tells us.
Yep.
And on that, we will see you later.
Yep, that works. All right, perfect. And transition. Cube shuffle. A little bit longer. Let's see.
Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live from day 0 of the BTC conference here in Las Vegas, and we are here with the one, the only, John the Baptist.
Yeah, Bitcoin John the Baptist. My name's Mark.
Boom. All right. So there's that.
Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live from day 0 of the BTC conference here in Las Vegas, and we are here with the one, the only, John the Baptist.
Yeah, Bitcoin John the Baptist. My name's Mark Edge. I formerly host a radio program called Free Talk Live. We're on 200 radio stations across the country. December 28th of 2010, a caller calls in and says, hey, let me tell you guys about this magic internet money. We said, is it backed by gold? And, it wasn't. So we're just like, oh no, we don't want to hear about that. But one of our listeners happened to be, at the time, the head developer of Bitcoin. His name's Gavin Andreessen. He sends us an email, says, hey, let's meet up. I think it was January 20th of 2011, and he comes up to Keene, New Hampshire, and, well, he tells us all about Bitcoin. We become the first radio program to talk about, first media to talk about Bitcoin, first radio program to accept Bitcoin for ads, and a whole bunch of other firsts, like major people in Bitcoin found out about Bitcoin from us on Free Talk Live.
Nice. Do you wish you kept the sats from all those ads?
Well, I'm of the opinion that everybody who bought a pizza, everybody who used their Bitcoin all along created the steps to get us to $100,000 Bitcoin. So no, I guess I don't. I'm glad that everybody spent what everybody did. Bitcoin's a currency, not an asset, and you should use it as such.
I agree with you. All the idea behind it as a P2P solution only becomes P2P if I spend it and exchange goods. So where can people find you now on X?
I guess on X, I'm Mark Edge _ FTL for Free Talk Live. You could guess.
All right. And where else can they usually find you as well?
Sometimes I'm on the air on Free Talk Live. You can go to freetalklive.com.
All right. And what are you looking forward to, most excited about with Bitcoin Vegas?
I think I'm here to see Ross Ulbricht free.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Did you see that they also have a lot of his items up for auction, whether his jumpsuit, his prison shoes, or his prison ID card?
I do not need any extra things from prison. Thanks.
And on that, we will see you later.
All right. Boop, 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 boop. All right. I already moved those over so I can delete them. I can delete that. All right. New project.
Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live from day 0 of the Bitcoin conference here at Crypto Monday. And we are here with the one, the only, the biggest cake eater of them all, J Chains.
I like pizza.
How are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing well. I'll let you hold that. I'm doing great, man. Vegas, obviously day 0. You can't go wrong. No. This is opening night. We're at someplace in the Venetian.
Yeah.
The steakhouse or the steak lodge. Or
Rock House.
Thank you. Rock House.
Yes.
Thank you.
The Oak Room at the Rock House. That's why I couldn't find it. I walked by it like 3 times.
And it's your party, too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, you just got to Vegas. You were just at Consensus. What was the coolest thing you learned at Consensus and that you're looking forward to here at BTC Vegas?
Ooh, the coolest thing that I learned in Consensus, obviously, is like how like tokenization is really pulling the major narrative.
Boom.
Platform is on. Wherever you're consuming this media, smash the like.
Smash the like. I love J Chains. All right. And transition. Tear apart.
Hello, Player One Taco, come.
There. Boom. All right. And export. Boom. Delete that. That.
Hello, listening you learned at Consensus, and that you're looking for
Middle run, bull run, like where we're going through. This is Bitcoin's bull run, all that stuff, and this is what we're learning. And that's what I'm excited for here. Like, obviously, Vegas with all of our friends, the degens, this is the place. Like, there's
You
never
have your press pass.
press pass.
Press pass.
Yeah, so high-level interviews, collaborations, all that stuff. Why
am I interviewing you?
Let's get it.
One of the really cool things that you've been able to do, like you've had a show and you've done a lot of different things, and now where are you doing your show at?
So, thank you for asking. I appreciate it. So on X and YouTube, and so I got my morning show. That's not changed. That's a Web3 breakfast. We do that 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. That's the community collaboration. That's how I connect with my community. And then at 1:30 in the afternoon Eastern is where I do that's my news and numbers, and that's where we talk about the alpha. We do some trades, look at charts, all that kind of stuff. So you can find that on the lives at 9 a.m. and then 1:30 on the East Coast, baby.
East Coast. Yeah. All right. So after Bitcoin Vegas, where are you off to next?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I don't know.
You coming to Singapore for Super AI?
Ooh, yeah. So I want 2 fights this year. I want Singapore and Tokyo.
All right. So you're going to Token 2049, Singapore for Karate Combat. But are you going to be in New York for Permissionless?
When is it?
June 24th through the 26th. Or no, yes.
Is it around the same time as NFT NYC?
It's right before it.
Why not?
Fuck yeah!
Oh, degens unite!
All right. Any last things, words of wisdom?
Yeah. Do your own research.
Listen to us.
Listen to guys like us who have been in the space, and maybe you
don't listen to me.
Well, you could for certain things.
Don't.
Hey,
that's my advice.
What you should do is whatever this platform is on, wherever you're consuming this media, smash the like.
Smash the like. Boom. All right, boom. New project. Scott Lee.
Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live day 0 of the Bitcoin conference here.
In the belt,
in your tool
and
belt.
we knew we had, so we pulled that out. We sold a few more of those. Those are sold out. So yeah, it's going to be packed in there. Believe it or not, that place is going to start to feel small come tomorrow afternoon.
As we close this out, we are here, Las Vegas 2025 Bitcoin, final piece of alpha. Where is Bitcoin 2026 going to be?
You're going to have to tune in to find out.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
We know where it's going to be now. It's going to be in Las Vegas. Actually, that's a good cover right there. Save. And boom. All right. Transition. Let's see. Do they have a crypto? Particles, ice, graffiti, gritty, graffiti.
Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live day 0 of the Bitcoin conference here in Las Vegas 2025. You can see it behind us, the iconic, someone's device.
That's our point of sale.
Oh, a point of sale. So one of the really cool things that is happening in Vegas, because in Vegas, you have to go, everything goes over the top of the last person. It doesn't matter if it's in the same industry. They got to go over and so one of the really coolest things you have going on here is you're going to attempt the Guinness World Record of most transactions in one day. The big question is, actually, let's roll this back.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Hey, so I'm Scott Lee. I'm the one of the primary producers of the conference. I focus primarily on the AV, so I've built all the stages, all the totems, the UFO I helped create and brought to life.
Scott Lee's pretty freaking cool. Boom. Boom.
Tokenized interview. And it's Vietnam War. Every boy, male in our neighborhood, older than my brother, went to war.
Okay. Nope.
Because, boom, puts her finger down on the laptop, and she does that.
Arms from us, but also that they're coming with a understanding that this is an important area to focus their concerns on.
One of the things that I think is really important that I appreciate, not only are they coming themselves, but they're bringing their advisors and teams, and those people, the people that really are on the front line or close to the front line that listen and learn, those people are the ones that are going to be really paying attention to things, talking to the mom and pop sponsors and booths and projects to see what matters to them and what can help or hurt them. And, so they can sort of guide, because yes, every individual is amazing that follows blockchain in some way, shape, or form. But there's so much going on that having a board of advisors, I think, is one of the really cool things. So that is going to be an amazing thing that's going to be happening.
There's, when you talk about that sort of collateral impact,
we see that here. We have thousands of employees that work for the Venetian and for the AV companies that I work with directly that are being impacted by this. They're seeing what the Bitcoin community is really made of, and what they're finding is that these are people that are like highly intentional, that are very passionate about what they're doing here. Like, very few people are involved with the event that don't have a Bitcoin lean, that they're not involved. So at every turn, these people are being orange pilled a little bit at a time, and in a very organic way of seeing how we operate with each other and how we operate with transparency and with trust and with like trying to get consensus when we're trying to figure something out. We're very, we don't work on a hierarchy. We work on like a round table understanding when we're doing all of this. So
it's the consistency of it too, because you talk about the transparency, and the consensus, but the consensus of consistently showing up as well. Sure. And I think that really drives.
Boom. New project. Okay. Michael K. MetaMask.
Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live from day 0 of Bitcoin Vegas 2025. I'm here with Michael K, who works over at Consensus. Michael, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm ready for the conference. I'm ready for the side events. Where the real networking goes down.
Exactly. After dark. What do you do at Consensus?
I'm the senior BD manager at Consensus and also on the product safety team at MetaMask. And I come from the Wallet Guard acquisition from about 10 months ago at this point. Time flies in crypto.
Time does fly. I still have my Wallet Guard extension,
I don't have my Wallet
and I
Guard
love it. And I
extension
miss. I think Wallet Guard was one of the coolest things on the safety side. Yeah. Wallet Guard, I think, saved over $90 million known of assets for users, and you've now integrated that directly into MetaMask. Yeah. One of the really big things that MetaMask recently launched in February.
It would be a good opportunity.
Taco advice of the day. Taco Alpha.
Taco Alpha's got to get me the connect there.
Yeah, let's go. All right, we are.
And also opening up for developers. That's why MetaMask Snaps has been really cool, since anyone can build inside of MetaMask. We're kind of like leveraging the playing field when it comes to both, right? Making sure that we have the support on the back end and making sure that the users on the front end actually understand, like, what can you do in your MetaMask wallet now?
Yeah. Nice. So I'm under an embargo on information. Can I give you a little alpha?
Give me the alpha.
And why you might be able to, Rumble?
Yes.
Rumble's launching a wallet. Did you know that?
I did not.
Now you do. But you should go talk to them real hardcore.
I think it would be a good opportunity.
Taco advice of the day. Taco Alpha.
Yep. That. Right there. Yep. There we go. And then intro.
Talk to them real hardcore.
I think it would be a good opportunity.
Taco advice of the day. Taco Alpha.
Taco Alpha's got to get me the connect there.
Yeah, let's go. All right, we are here. We are in Las Vegas. We will see you tomorrow.
Yep. Perfect. It looks like I already edited this video a little bit. So, transition. Cube shift. Oh. Boom. All right. Scott Lee interview. All right. Export. Let's see.
Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live. How polite everyone actually really is.
Very polite, yeah. And everyone's got, looking out for each other.
Oh, that's 6.
Because then you show up in. Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live from day 0 of Bitcoin Vegas 2025. I'm here with Michael K, who works over at Consensus. Michael, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm ready for the conference. I'm ready for the side events. You know where the real networking goes down.
Exactly. After dark. What do you do at Consensus?
I'm the senior BD manager at Consensus and also on the product safety team at MetaMask. And I come from the Wallet Guard acquisition from about 10 months ago at this point. Time flies in crypto.
Time does fly. I still have my Wallet Guard extension, and I love it, and I think Wallet Guard was one of the coolest things on the safety side. Yeah. Wallet Guard, I think, saved over $90 million known of assets for users, and you've now integrated that directly into MetaMask. Yeah. One of the really big things that MetaMask recently launched in February during ETH Denver was the MetaMask card. How's that been going?
It's going really well. We actually had the virtual version of the card, which you can get right now in a supported region for almost a year at this point, but the physical metal version is coming soon. And what's really cool about that is it gives you like extra benefits, extra rewards whenever you're doing anything IRL, where you could use your crypto IRL.
It's like 11% back.
You get up to 11% back with this bad boy right here.
Nice.
With community rewards, you can get automatic yield through Aave directly on your own self-custodied wallet. So it's completely different from a centralized exchange card or a top-up crypto card. This is letting you actually use your on-chain assets IRL.
Nice. And one of the really big pieces on it, it's all built on Linea.
Yes. Right now, the network that it's scaling on is Linea, which makes it so that you don't have to pay insanely high gas fees. And it also allows us to have like a Sybil-resistant user base so that anybody that's willing to tap into the community pools of the card know that they're dealing with real people, not bots and farmers, which is a huge problem in Web3.
So you've come up from the ranks, from the early days that we've hung out on in Clubhouse, to the early days of crypto Twitter, to you taking over a house with your friends and building out wallet.
Okay. New project, last project. All right. Okay. I think this is it. Yep. All right. So this is going to take some actual editing. Let's see here. BTC Vegas, IRS, Chuck, Red Egg.
And worry about it because you're a fat.
Oh no.
You can tell.
Can I be hostile?
Cut me off.
No. Oh no.
You can tell.
Can I be hostile?
Cut me off.
No.
Boom. Delete that.
Oh no.
You can tell.
Can I be hostile?
Cut me off.
No.
I have a tendency to ramble. I have a tendency to get passionate.
Yeah. So I sort of come from like more of like the digital asset, virtual currency side of things. So that's sort of what we're going to cover and everything like that. And so
that was what I was trying to get in there.
Yeah.
Again, all kinds of concepts whether something should be on a return. Just don't get aggressive.
Yeah.
Right? And if I talk about substantial compliance, that yes/no question is designed to catch people off guard.
Yeah.
And so if you answer no, and also tell people they have the information. There is no, the reason I talk about appreciate the time.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Boom. Me shaking the hand of the IRS. I think that's good. Dominating. Double handshake. All right, let's see.
But anything for you anytime. Appreciate the time. Yeah. You're welcome.
Good job, guys.
Boom. There we go.
So it's a different world. But thank you very much. I apologize for rambling, but anything for you anytime.
I have the IRS, former IRS commissioner saying anything for me anytime. I love that. That's awesome. All right. Boom. And then intro. And we're definitely going with money on this one. Money. Boom.
Oh no.
You can tell.
Can I be hostile?
Cut me off.
No.
I have a tendency to ramble. I have a tendency to get passionate.
Yeah. So I sort of come from like more of like the digital asset, virtual currency side of things. So that's sort of what we're going to cover and everything like that. And so
that was what I was trying to get.
Not extra vital.
Ultimately, you're going to catch a flight somewhere. It's amazing how many people who are fugitives go on vacation in Italy.
Yeah.
When you look at the history, like
you would think.
I'm ready when you're ready.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live.
3.5 minutes before we even started.
Day one. We are here with former commissioner of the IRS. Do I call you commissioner now? Oh, I'm just calling you Chuck.
I spent 4 years, 5 years, 2018 to 22, trying to get people to call me Chuck in an organization that is very command-oriented.
Yeah.
And I got sir and commissioner. So I brought that home and I said to my wife, at work, everybody calls me sir or commissioner. She goes, well, sir, take out the garbage. Well, sir, So it didn't work so well.
You opened the
Yeah,
box on that one.
exactly. So I grew up Chuck. I've always been Chuck. As a kid, when I got in trouble, my mom called me Charles. So it's not Charles. You always
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
When my grandma says Player One Taco, I know I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
But if it's just taco, I'm all right.
Yeah.
So, Chuck, a pleasure to meet you. You had an amazing talk where you covered everything from your security details to the story of introducing your father-in-law to the president. And it is a crazy time.
From a public school kid out of LA.
Yeah.
Who I didn't know a single congressman or senator.
Yeah.
I obviously didn't know Secretary Mnuchin. I didn't know President Trump.
Okay. It's awesome. This turns this from 10 gig, almost 10 gig video to 1.53. Oh. J chains. Let's go.
That is moving. It's one of those things we've seen like this.
What I think they really should do.
Yeah.
This is me running the country. Pick a number, right? Let's say 200,000.
Oh, we're going that high.
If you make less than 200,000,
yeah,
you don't owe any tax.
Yeah.
And let everybody else pay.
Yeah.
You're not too far away from that anyway, right now.
Yeah.
The government's not auditing those people. And part of the world is pumping money into an economy, avoiding regulation, avoiding, if you will, the anxiety and all that stress related associated with just the fact of. And the games some people have to pay, which are play, they feel they have to play, which are non-productive. Take that effort and go build a better widget, you know? It's the old thing. You see a lot of people that do bad things and it takes a lot of effort for them to do the bad thing. Yet 2 clicks over, they could have done a great thing and not have a criminal problem, but created the widget everybody needs, or cured cancer. You know, why can't you cure cancer after 50 years, or the common cold?
Or if they want to.
There you go.
So I'm going to ask a really hard question. If you say skip it, I will.
Those other ones were easy.
Yeah, because I talk about people sometimes, and the only reason why I bring this up is because this individual lied to me directly, personally. The commissioner after you. How do you think? Do you think he?
So my reaction when I left the government, my reaction, people said, "What do you think the characteristics should be of the commissioner of the IRS?" And I said, the commissioner should be somebody who doesn't want the job, doesn't need the job, is not looking for their next job.
Yeah.
They should come in. I was in one firm for 36 years, entirely happy, very comfortable in my personal and professional life. I went into the country. I think the salary of the commissioner is $159,000 a year. I had to maintain 2 homes on that, right? There was somebody who said, the person who used to clean our office in LA, one night I'm cleaning out my office, I've been there 36 years. And the guy says, like, what's happening? I said, well, I'm leaving the office. Where are you going? I said, I'm going to run the IRS. And he goes, like, big logo. Okay, I'm not working on a commission, right?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So,
Boom. All right. New project. Nope, that's it. We are done. And we are done with that. So what we're doing now is we're taking the videos that were we're going to put that over there. And then we get to delete this. And then we can delete that. Then we can delete that. And boom, boom. All right. What does that do for us? All right. GM. Barno. All right. So now Opus dashboard. All right. All right, let's properties. Empty recycle bin. Yes, I want to permanently delete the 22 items. So done there. Cut videos. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, we have 12, 15 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, we'll go with just 11, 10. All right. Okay. Boom. 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 Smaller content. Boom. And then Scott Lee. All right. That's care credits. Wait. All right, so DAS, Opus, boom. All right, so don't clip. All right, don't clip. All right. Let's go. All right. Yeah, you can see how tired I am. And I make bad choices when I'm tired. Okay. All right. So we're done for now. But we're going to wrap this up. We've been going for almost 3 hours. I want to thank everyone for watching as we've been editing some videos, some alpha out of both Digital Asset Summit and Bitcoin Conference. We head to Super AI next week or on Saturday in Singapore with a quick half-day trip to Kuala Lumpur for a talk at a university. Excited for this piece. Excited to be there. I hope everyone has a great, amazing night. GM to those just joining us and following. As always, I end with the same two things: our words of wisdom and the greatest worst knock joke on the face of the planet. Our words of wisdom are always the same. closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth, meaning if no one knows you're looking for opportunity will never come a knocking. If opportunity does come knocking and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. With that, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight, and we will see you on the flip side. As always, we end with the greatest, worst knock-knock joke on the face of the planet, and that is knock-knock. Who's there?